Hello and welcome folks to another rebuild. Today we're going to be going to Germany and Hertha Berlin, who are in, I feel, are in a desperate need of some sort of a rebuild here. Last season they finished bottom of the table. Not a good sign already. They got relegated from the Bundesliga and this season not doing particularly well either. 17th position, second from bottom, and really struggling. One win in 5 games there. And our task is to get them back to the Bundesliga, challenging for that title. Founded in 1892, they've got a good history. They have won the Bundesliga in 1930 and 31, so it's been a while, nearly 100 years, in fact, 90 years or so without winning the Bundesliga. They've won the Bundesliga twice, as recent as 2013. Also won the Verbandsbockel Berlin Cup as well, the last time being in 1987. The German League Cup in 2002, which isn't too bad actually. And the German Regional Division in 1968. In fact, they won it 3 times on the bounce there. There's going to be no transfer budget. We are using an updated transfer update, which shows all the relegations and promotions, transfers, etc. up to and including, I think it's just after the transfer window in September, which this can be found on the FM23.com website and by somebody called Notorious. Their favoured formation, which is good because I like that formation. Not sure if they're DMs or not, but we'll go with it. Maybe we have one DM and push one up, maybe, or both in midfield. But we want to go attacking straight away and back to the Bundesliga as quick as possible. The board will want us to gain automatic promotion straight away, reach the latter stages of the Pokal Cup as well, and then next season get a top half finish. I mean, that's a big ask considering they got relegated, you know, but and that's what they want going forward, but we're aiming for a bit more than that if we can. Before we go on to our squad, let's have a quick look at our staffing situation. Let's see how bad that is. I'm expecting to be... Wow, okay. And I suppose being relegated from the Bundesliga, our staffing should be pretty good. Okay, not gotten a problem here at all. If we can get promotion straight away, these guys will stay with us, but not sure how they fare in the Bundesliga though. Finances, they have got 5 million in the bank. And any debts, 64 million net debt, which is this one here, the bank loan, which are not paying any interest on, paying $500,000 a month. So on to the players then, which are obviously look too good for this division, with Niederlechner, 31-year-old striker, up to £4 million worth as well. I mean, he's here for a good few seasons as well, so that he could be pretty good if we can get somebody youngster in, like Wilfried Kanga. Why? He's 24 years old. Is he out on loan? No, he's out on loan to Standard Liège. Wow, okay. Why is he out on loan? Let's have a quick look at Serda, worth £8 million. Wow, why have we loaned him out? Is it because of the wages? Is there a problem there? We haven't parent. Okay, so there's no optional future fee. I don't think we can do anything with that. We can't recall him either. It will be a pain if we lose him for that amount of money. Half his value, in fact. Kempf, defender. Looks pretty good. Wow, okay. Jumping reach, heading. He can tackle. Can he pass? Ball playing defender, I'm guessing. Looks pretty decent, actually. Very nice indeed. And he's only 27, 6'1". Darday, 20-year-old defender, DM as well. Wow, okay. He looked very, very promising. Good potential. Him and Kempf at the back. Not a problem. We've got Rogel as well there also. Fabian Rees, 24-year-old winger. Okay, good. That's what I want to see. He's reasonably quick as well, actually. And at 24 years old. Dudziak, 26 years old. I mean, they're relatively young, these players, aren't they? Good first touch, good technique. Midfield, can he play Cam? Looks pretty decent as Cam as well. 26 years old. Rogel, the other defender I was mentioned. Again, another player that looks pretty decent. 24 years old. Wow, okay. It looks like they've got a very decent side. There's no reason why they can't get out of this division as soon as possible. 21-year-old Karbonik, Polish, 21-year-old. High potential, right back, but I'm quite happy leaving him there. Young, quick, can thrive on that potential, I feel. We have got 35-year-old Pekarik. I think he's a right back as well. Yeah, 35 years old. I mean, again, reasonably quick, but we're going to use the Polish guy, I think. 4 goals in 202 appearances for Hertha. 2-year-old Bilal Hussein. That looks pretty decent again, midfield. I mean, somebody we could use if there's nobody else in there better. 22 years old. If we look at high potential players, we have got some youngsters here. Hertha as well. I mean, if we could develop these players this season, they'll be immense next season. High potential yet again. Defender. 6'3". Wow. Passing. Heading's not too bad. We have got better players in, unfortunately. Good as a backup, though. And Serchant as well, 19. Out on the wing. Can play up front. I mean, could we have found our striker? A young striker, 19 years old. Very quick. Finishing's not too bad. High potential. I mean, for this division, we should use our experienced players just to get out of this division, I think. And who else we got? Carbonate, we've had a look. And Dardai as well, we've had a look at. I mean, these players look very, very good indeed, actually. Quite impressed with the setup we got. We are expected to jump straight back with flying colours. But they don't seem to be happening in real life for them, does it? So make sure that we go back in the first time of asking. Let's have a quick look at our second team. See if there's anything that jumps out at us. Joel Da Silva Kayla. High potential. Maybe. I mean, is he the only one? I think him and Robert, the goalkeeper. Okay, well, we want to look at what our goalkeeping situation's like. What about our under-19s? There's a few more. Dardai, 16-year-old. Another Dardai. Is his brother in the first team? Again, high potential. Could do with sending these out on loan. Again, some high potential players. 17-year-old winger, 16-year-old centre-back as well. Okay, it's quite interesting. So what we'll do, we'll go and form a formation. We'll come back. We'll have a little look and see how we get on up until the end of the transfer window. So for this season, we will be rocking just the standard default 4-2-3-1 DM attacking midfield wide. 2 DMs in here. I'm not a fan of it, but when you see the results, I'm kind of swaying towards it, I have to say. We're got 2 inside forwards, an attacking midfielder, advanced forward. We've got a roaming playmaker, ball winning midfielder in defence, 2 wing backs, ball playing defender, a central defender, and a goalkeeper on attack. And we've only locked 1 player in, and it's that Polish youngster, the 21-year-old, with a very, very high potential. I hope he's going to grow a little bit more. And very, very quickly if we can. Best 11, and he doesn't even feature on that right-hand side, even though he is shown as our better that player in that position. A couple of other positions which I probably would go with, actually, to be fair. It's a very, very strong looking side. And needless to say, why I'm coming round it is because look at them results. I'm not going to lie, that is absolutely brilliant for our first season. We know this is that Division 2. They have to get out of this, and they are favourites to win it. Just that 1 draw in the friendlies, but the league, they've just taken it by storm. A 5-1 victory in the German Cup first round. Standard. But yeah, they've destroyed everybody else, though. We are top 5 points clear. Racing ahead. A lot. Wow, there's an 8-1 victory and a couple of 7-0s there in this Pokal Cup. Wow, Nuremberg winning 7-0. Okay, so back to it then. Let's simulate our first season. I'm excited to see us jump straight back into the Bundesliga, unless I've just given it the kiss of death. Well, we don't quite win the league, but we do go up automatically in second spot. That is absolutely phenomenal. A lot of draws in the last few games. 12 points the difference. We do draw 7 games. We lost 6 games in total after having a great start from 8. I'll take it. It's 70 points overall. We jump straight back in to the Bundesliga. In the league, we have our striker with 29 goals and Dudziak as well, 16 goals. He also gets amongst the best players in the league as well. And Reese with 10 assists for the season also. I mean, we've done reasonably well. I'm not going to lie. We're in the Bundesliga, people. So after that great start at the beginning, we come up against Kaiserslautern. We beat them 3-1. We draw with Elversberg, and then we continue with a couple of more wins. And then, we hit a little bit of a rut with the win-loss situation going on. With the win over Schalke, though, and we lose to Firth, beat HSV, and we lose to KSC. I mean, it's crazy. But we do, apart from that one blip in them few months, we do pick ourselves up towards the end of the season and just plough ourselves through. In the Pokal Cup, we get as far as the quarterfinals, losing to Wolfsburg 1-0, 51st minute winner for them. But we do beat Augsburg, Paderborn and Vilsing along the way. 2 penalty shootouts as well in the last 2 rounds. Florian with 30 goals in 35 games. Not bad for the 32-year-old. That's superb. Maybe we hang on to him for another season. Well, we've got him for at least another 2, so it would be stupid to let him go. Unless we have a better player, but we do have Wilfried Kango coming back. He only scored 7 goals out on loan, though. 17 for Dudziak as well. I'm guessing he's out on the wings, maybe. Assist-wise, 13 for Reese at right wing. But apart from that, our goalkeeper, though, 34 games, 29 conceded. So going into next season then, we have been given a massive £21.5 million to spend. Oh my goodness, look at the wage budget. We're currently spending just under £300,000 a week. It shot up by £1 million a week. Clearly mean business next season. Oh, that is superb. I'm definitely sure we can do something with that. So we ended up spending our budget for transfers, and we didn't sell anybody, mainly because we wanted squad depth. That's all we wanted. And plus, some of the players did have another year left on their contract, so we're going to take full advantage of that. So our first signing is Nathan Nagumi from Borussia Mönchengladbach for £11 million to play on the right-hand side. He can play actually in midfield, so if we do go 4-4-2, we could do that as well. Could play on the left as well, play in the centre. He's quite versatile up attacking-wise, and great pace and acceleration, so hopefully he's going to do some good on that wing position. Next up was Felix Agu from Werder Bremen for £4.5 million. He's 23 years old. Will suit our left-hand side, because that's really the only position where we're struggling a little bit with, although we can play on the right-hand side as well. And wow, look at them physicals. It's an opportunity we couldn't really pass up. Kasper Schmeichel was another one from Benfica for £500,000. He's by far better than our current goalkeeper. 36 years old. He's here for 2 seasons. If he can just help us establish ourselves in this league, then I'll be more than happy, and it'd be money well spent. Finally, Alexander Buxa, £5.5 million from Genoa. A forward, I think one for the making. 20 years old, great potential. And even though he's probably not as good as Florian, but we're going to give him a go. His potential is way high, so I want to give him the opportunity. Even though Kanga's back now from his loan, we can potentially use him. But yeah, Buxa is going to lead the line this season. We are going to lock just 2 players in, Buxa and Nagumu. We want to see how well they do. I think they'll do pretty well, but we're keeping the same formation as it was before. We're just changing Nagumu to a wing in support as opposed to inside forward. That is the only change really. But yeah, this formation did as well in the League 2. Let's see how it does in the Bundesliga itself. I'm quite nervous, to be perfectly honest, as the results really haven't gone our way. We've struggled for goals, but we have got our first goal. We did draw with Bochum 0-0 away from home. Then we got smashed by Leipzig 4-1. And then we just gone away from home to Werder and won 2-0. And they did have 2 players sent off as well, so that probably helped. Pre-season wasn't too bad, just 1 win, 2 draws and a loss. And that was to Real Madrid, probably expected. But we did draw with Bilbao and West Brom. We've drawn Stuttgart in the next round of the Pokal Cup as well. And we are lying in 6th position, so I can't complain. Purely because of that win and draw. I mean, there are teams like Freiburg, Leipzig and Bayern Munich, 3 for 3. Well, Bayern Munich's going to have a tough time, I bet. But we'll see how we get on. Our second season, it's our first season back in the Bundesliga. Hopefully we can just survive. We finished in 9th position, which is absolutely fantastic. Not bad in our first season back. And we only missed out on European spot by 5 points. Wolfsburg grabbing it from ourselves and Werder. But we do lose 16 games though, which is quite hefty. I think that's the 4th or 5th highest losses in the league. We only scored 40 goals though. It's still more than one a game, and we conceded just 49, which isn't too bad. Nobody really made any significant inroads into the top players, but Schmeichel did get 13 clean sheets for us. So after a poor start, as it were, we do get another victory against Schalke, 1-0. So that was our second win in the league. Borussia Mönchengladbach beat us 2-0. Then we have a poor November. But we do fight back in December with a win over Dortmund, though. 2-1, which isn't too bad. Have we played Bayern? We lost 6-1 at home. Wow. Bochum we win. Werder we win again. Yeah, there's a lot of losses where we really do need to cut them out, though, where we don't even score goals. So maybe the 2DM shout isn't the way to go, or do we keep it going another season? Because we did rather well. If we just bring in quality players, we might do slightly better though. The German Cup, we get knocked out by Stuttgart in the second round and at home as well. So that's disappointing. We've struggled to come by goals, clearly. Bucks 12 goals in 35, not a lot. Kanga weighed in with 9. And Florian, what did he get? 2 in the one start he did get with 18 off the bench, 18 substitute appearances. Maybe it might have been better if we had him starting up front for us. I don't know. Nagumu, how did he do? He did pretty well though. 6.74 averaging, 1 goal, 1 assist. Who else got most assists? Well, Duziak, Dardiel. We kind of struggled this season. It's clear to see. So next season we've been given a hefty £49.5 million to spend. And we've still got £1 million in the wages budget, which we can weigh into the transfer budget. But bear in mind, we've only got 53 million. It wouldn't be wise. Plus, we've got contracts to probably renew this season. Focusing on the transfers out, we let go of a bunch of people. You can see the list there. We've got Andres Bukalakis, 425,000 to Aris. They're not gone for very much. Up to 1.1 to Wolfsberger is Tabakovic. We've also lose Dardier, Palko, Ferencvaros for 775,000. Listner, he didn't really get any game time. He's 29 to 30 years old. Gone to Genk, 230,000. Prevjak, he's gone to Ukraine for up to 425, and a few others there like Eason to Wolfsburg for up to 650,000, and Christensen going out on loan, as well as Keswick and Shershank. So £3.2 million brought in just from that little sale. So we decided to strengthen our goalkeeping position. We start up with Daniel Numov, Bulgarian. Very, very good between the sticks. Great on one-on-ones, reflexes and determination, bravery as well. He's got jumping reach. Aerial reach isn't too bad. Commander of the area could do with a little bit of work there, but we bring him in on a free. This guy was available for free, and we bagged him. We also bring in Nico Mantle. I think we bought him first. £9.5 million. He's not good as Numov. So, yeah, kind of a waste of money considering we did have a few good goalkeepers as well. But since these two have been brought in, the other guys just weren't up to scratch. But look at his physicals. They look really, really good. And for a backup, that's pretty decent. And 24 years old. £21 million from Hoffenheim. We bring in a midfielder, Anton Stach. He's going to be playing in the DM role. Don't forget, we have got 2 DM positions. So he's going to be slotting in straight there. Although he can push up to midfield as well. I'm very tempted to do that. We'll see how, again, we do this season. We did well last season. We want to do the same again with the 2 DMs. We raid Mainz as well for £15 million. Enzo Lafay. Can play, can also play midfield, but we've mainly got him for a cam position. Looks absolutely superb with great potential as well. Physicals aren't too bad. He can take corners, he can pass the ball, he's got good technique, teamwork and vision. Very, very nicely stacked as well. Mitoma comes in for £25 million from Brighton. He was quite happy to come along actually, and at £97,000 a week I think he's our most expensive player. But to fit on the left hand side, he's going to run absolute riot. So again, next season we'll build on and bring in a couple of more good players in as well as having players in the midfield as we push forward a lot more. Likes to run down the left of the ball and runs with the ball quite often, so that's a very good trait to have, and physicals and everything else looks absolutely superb. And finally, we're bringing another forward. We're bringing Fofana from PSV for £13 million. He's had quite a good few seasons, actually. He scored 3 in 3 games for us already with 1 player of the match. So really, really chuffed with that. Very cheap. And he's got good finishing, dribbling, first touch. He's reasonably quick. And definitely one for the future with high potential as well. So like I said, the formation stays exactly the same. Fofana's up on top. And Stach is locked in as well. And pre-season wasn't too bad, actually, with 3 wins, a loss and a draw, losing to Lazio. Probably one of the stronger teams that we played against, which isn't too bad at all. And we're drawing with Spal. We do win our first game in the Pokal Cup against Duisburg. We win that 3-0. Then we beat Union Berlin and St. Pauli 2-0 and 2-1 respectively. And then we did lose our last game against Wolfsburg, which was away from home, but I did expect to win that one. We are currently lying in 5th position, which isn't a bad position to be in. And the season preview has us jump into 6th position, 33-1 to win the league alongside Leverkusen and Borussia Mönchengladbach. So really, really happy with that. Unfortunately, Bayern Munich just controlled the Dream 11 apart from Frimpong and Smith Rowe. So let's delve into season 3 and see where we finish. Well, we seem to be going from strength to strength, and we finished in 6th position this time. I think that's what we were predicted. I think it was 33-1 at the beginning of the season. 55 points, some way off the leaders, it has to be said, with Leipzig winning the trophy, actually winning the league ahead of Bayern Munich by 6 points. Wow. And they only lost 2 games, but we do win 16. We only lose 11. We only concede 40 goals this time, but we only score 46. I mean, our defence is doing a superb job. That could be down to the 2 DMs, but I really want to go for the jugular this time. But saying that, we're doing pretty well. Unfortunately, there's nobody in the top players for anything apart from Numov, who gets 9 clean sheets. Our league form, though, we do have a very, very good start to the season. It's not too bad. A couple of losses. We do lose to Dortmund, Freiburg. I mean, teams you probably wouldn't... I mean, probably not Freiburg. I expect us to beat them. Same with HSV. We do lose 5-1 to Wolfsburg, so we lost to them twice this season. Hoffenheim lose. Bayern, did we play back? Bayern, Leverkusen beat 1-0. Schalke, we win. We do beat Bayern Munich 2-1, though. That's pretty good. What about the rest of the season? Did we play them the rest of the season later on? Bayern, we beat them twice this season, and we finished in 6th position. That's just, that's crazy. Overall, that's not a bad season. I'm quite happy with that. And we get European football next year as well. In the Pokal Cup, we get as far as the 3rd round, losing to Osnabrück, which I expect us to beat. We clearly didn't. Mitoma scoring our only goal. And there lies the proof in the pudding. 11 goals apiece for Mitoma and Fofana. In his first season, isn't too bad, but I expect him to do better. He's got high potential, but he doesn't seem to have improved at all at 22 years old either, which is disappointing. 5 for Dardé, 5 for Shershank, who's out on loan. We just haven't got... I think we're just far too defensive. I think that's what the problem is. It's all right not conceding many goals, but if we're not conceding, we need to be scoring, and we don't seem to be doing enough of that. Our goalkeeper Numov, though, he only conceded 43. It may be time to get another goalkeeper, possibly. He seems to have dropped off somewhat as well from what it was at the beginning of the season, but we'll see how it goes for next season, as we have been given £80 million. We haven't got that in the bank. So once again, we'll start on the transfers. Earlier, a few people going away. Kempf's gone for £5 million to Augsburg. Getcher has gone to Kaiserslautern for on loan, actually, and Numov, our goalkeeper, went to Al Ittihad for up to £4 million. We're trying to offload some other players that weren't getting any game time and just quite frankly not good enough for the side and for this division. We kind of struggled a little bit, so we may end up seeing them released next season. We shall see. So our first signing was Kirksken. He wasn't too bad, actually. His potential isn't that bad, really. He's going to be our backup for this season. There wasn't really much out there. He came on a free, I think it was. We kind of used up our transfer budget, so we had to bring in a freebie, and he seemed reasonable, at least anyway. Hopefully he won't get any game time, but because we lost our main goalkeeper, we've got Manto, who's probably would have edged him to the first team place anyway. So we should be quite confident going into this season. From Leverkusen for £2.3 million, we bring in a midfielder, Gustavo Puerta. He's not a bad looking lad, is he? A potential is very, very high. When we signed him, he was a wonder kid. Now he's just a midfielder, so I don't know what we've done to him. Hopefully he'll get some game time. From Juventus for £7.5 million, we bring in Nicola Ravella. He can play DM, but we have pushed our DMs up now into midfield, so it's going to be quite an interesting season. Stats look very, very good as well. He's got good passing and tackling, determination, natural fitness, and obviously anticipation, and they seem to be pretty high. Same with teamwork and work rate, really. So I'm really happy for £7.5 million. I think that's a bargain. We bring in another German into the back four. We have kind of gone astray a little bit from signing German players because they are a commodity in this Bundesliga. But for £8 million, we bring in Buchmann as a centre back, purely because we lost Kempf and we needed another backup, really. I wasn't quite comfortable not having enough at the back, and potential wise he looks pretty reasonable. Now we get into the big amounts. £22 million from Milan. We bring in Luca Romero. He's going to be playing on that right hand side. He looks very, very good as well, playing as a I think it's an inside forward, I think, this season, which most of his stats that you need is pretty on the ball, actually. Passing, you got good technique, vision, you got on the ball with balance, agility, etc. He's pretty stacked in that respect, and I think at 20 years old it's a bargain, and he is our wonder kid, actually. For £25 million from Anderlecht, we bring in Kasper Dolberg up front. Yes, he can play out on the wings, but we've generally got him for an advanced forward up top. We wanted someone who's kind of established and experienced in scoring goals, and I think this guy can put the ball away. And if he can get us 20 goals in a season, I think we'll do reasonably well this year. And we bring in another wonder kid, £30 million, I think it was, from, well, not quite sure, from Aston Villa, actually. Physically, he looks really, really good. He's going to be in our starting 11 straight off the bat, and I'm just looking forward to watching him grow. Formation-wise, we've pushed our midfielders up. We're still having a ball winning on defence. Ravella's going to be in there as well. Morgala's going to be playing, and Dahlberg up front, because he can actually play in any of these positions, but I want him to play up front. Out on the right-hand side is going to be Romero. Mitoma on the left-hand side. We're going to be pretty stacked going up front, that's for sure. And our pre-season went superbly. We were unbeaten right through. And then we played the first round of the German Cup. We win that 7-0. And then we came a cropper in the next two games, Bayern Munich and FC Augsburg. We only lost 2-1, but considering we have got a change of formation and Dahlberg was injured, it looks like Romero was injured in one of them games as well. We were without Dahlberg for a few games. But in the game against Wolfsburg, he did come back and score in the 2-0 victory, with an own goal being the other one as well. So currently we're lying in 10th position, that one win helping us climb that table, actually. And I think we're on 0 goal difference as well, so that kind of helped us a little bit. Bayern Munich are top 3 for 3 with Borussia Mönchengladbach. And the Europa League, it hasn't been drawn yet because it's still being played. The qualifiers are still there going on. So we will probably find that out at the end of the season when it's all done and dusted. But I'm hoping that we will progress and we'll get quite far in there. We've drawn Schalke in the next round of the German Cup. And we have landed 6th spot with the media once again. This time 25-1, not 33. So the odds are coming down. We're still with Leverkusen and Borussia Mönchengladbach, but if we want to try and get into the top 3, it's going to be very, very difficult. So without any further ado, let's simulate our 4th season. Can't believe it's 4 seasons already, and see where we come. We get to the end of season 4, and wow, we have dropped off considerably what we have done in the previous season. We don't even finish in a European spot, which is even more disappointing, and we lose 17 games. We miss out by European spot by 5 points, which is really disappointing as well. I mean, it has been a disaster of a season, actually. I mean, could that be the overload of fixtures, including the Europa League? I don't know. Depends how far we went, even. However, Dahlberg gets 20 goals, and I did ask for a 20-goal striker. Kane for Bayern Munich, 28 goals in this season as well, so that's not bad for him either. So looking at our form, we didn't get off to the best of starts. We did pick up things in a cup in the few months. But wow, look at this drop off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 losses on the bounce. That is disgusting. Despite the fact we do pick ourselves back up again, but what on earth happened? Didn't manage to get a side together? What on earth's going on? But the latter stages we do pick ourselves up, but damage has been done. That's disgusting. We do, however, get to the semi-finals of the Pokal Cup, losing 1-0 to Bayern Munich. It was a home game as well. Second minute goal by Sancho, who's at now Bayern Munich. Wow. Who went on one? I'm guessing Bayern Munich won it, did they? No. Dortmund beat them in the final. And we get to the semi-finals of the Europa League. So we've done really well in the cup competitions, but the league, I think that was sacrificed. I think they put all their eggs in one basket and it's backfired, I believe. We lose 3-1 overall after a 2-0 loss away from home. But let's have a look at the group stages though. We do finish in 8th position, so we go straight into the round of 16. We win 5 games against Sarpsborg 3-0, Sparta Rotterdam 2-1, 2-0 against Villarreal. Valur 5-0 and 1-0 against Vitesse, with 2 draws against Panathinaikos and Ludogorets, and then the 1 loss to Sporting. I tell you what, we only conceded 3 goals, but in the round of 16 we played Sporting. We got our own back on them, beaten 4-3 with a 1-0 home leg victory. Rennes we beat 5-2 and 2-1, so 7-3, so looking good at that respect, and then losing out to Juventus. So let's have a look who won in the final. Newcastle beat Juventus. Would you believe it? So squad-wise, despite a disappointing league, we do well in the cups. And how did our players do? 28 goals from Dolberg. That's exactly what we brought him in for from 50 games. 15 for Romero as well, the youngster. What a player. Tomo, who's coming up to 29 now. Probably 30 next year, so he'll do for at least another season. We can't afford to let him go. Weighs in with 14 goals, 10 assists. But other than that, nobody else really touched the sides. But Romero, 16 assists, 16 for Lafay as well. What a player. I mean, our front attacking line is pretty good. But we do know where improvements need to be made. But apart from that, that is superb from our attacking line. Agu. Done pretty well. 6 assists though. Luqua as well. 6 assists. Sach 5. Okay, there's a lot more players getting an assist, but goalkeeper, we definitely need to have another goalkeeper, I think, and then obviously look at defenders, because I think that's where we are struggling a little bit. The players that we locked in though, Ravella, how did he do? 2 assists. He was on defend though. So maybe if we put him in support, maybe that might, or changes the role altogether maybe. And Magala, how did he do? Well, he's up to a 3.5, nearly 4 star. Potential seeking. Oh, he got 5 goals. That's brilliant from the defender. Wow. Things are probably looking up for next season. Hopefully we can do better and break into the top 4 and the Champions League position and maybe come away with a trophy next season. And for next season, 49 million. But we have got a bit of spend in the wages, about £385,000. That's still pretty good. We can obviously move that into the transfer budget after we've sorted out some contracts. Starting with the transfers out once again, and Aston Villa activated Anton Stach release clause, and he went for £25 million. I am so disappointed in him. Why did he not want to stay? We're not in Europe. That's probably a reason. We also let go of Kanga, Duziak, Curzon. He goes for 190,000. Kenny goes for 210. Reese goes for 2 million to Vigo even. Molida goes to Espanyol for 450. And we lose Janssen as well to Freiburg. So there's quite a few people going. £9 million there, and I don't think we actually got the £25 million from Stach into the budget. I don't know. We didn't have that much at all, really, to be fair, apart from the 50, maybe £60 million in total. So our first signing was £8 million for Nubel. I said we needed another goalkeeper, and we bring Nubel back to Germany. He was out at Shabab Al-Alil. They don't make a profit on him. I think he's going to help us considerably, because I think that's where we were weak last season. From Chelsea for £23 million, Badiashile comes to the club. Again, we wanted to strengthen our back line. That was a focus for this season. But I think we found another star. His potential is very high as well. And he's pretty young, 25 years old. And you wouldn't want to mess with him at all, would you, really? From Real Hispalis for £22 million, we bring in Juan Miranda, left back. That's mainly because Agu's gone over to the right hand side where he's probably preferred. So that was the case. So we needed a left back, and we bring this superstar in as well. Still got some potential to go. Physicals and mentals look really good as well, and I think he'll suit us pretty well. And finally, for £5 million, we just needed somebody as backup in the centre. He's got some potential, quite a bit left in him, and he's just growing all the time. And that's Oscar Fraulo. So this is the formation. We're just changing it up a little bit. Dolberg is locked in, same with Romero. Puerta is going to have a chance in the midfield. He's got very high potential. Didn't get much game time last season, and I think he's just going to be a superstar anyway. So I just want to see how well he does this season, and maybe he might just actually help us. Pre-season went okay. 2 wins and a draw. We start the German Cup with an 11-0 trouncing of Haida, with a few goals from everybody getting involved there. It's quite phenomenal, really. And they had a player sent off as well, so it probably didn't help them. We start off again with 2 losses, Wolfsburg and Leipzig. Very close games, but we do beat HSV 5-0. So we start off with a plus goal difference. We've drawn Bayern Munich in the next round of the German Cup. You just can't write it, can you? I don't think we'll be getting any further. If we beat Bayern, then there's no reason why we can't go on and win the whole competition. Currently, we're lying in 9th position, which is better than last time, and I think that's due to the goal difference, really, to be fair. A season preview has us still in 6th position. This time, the odds are up to 33-1, but that's the same as Leverkusen, Borussia Mönchengladbach. We just need to try and defy the odds once again. It's just a pity we're not in Europe this season. As long as we can establish ourselves up in the top 10 and try and get a European spot, I think that's all we can really hope for. So let's go into our 5th season, and who knows, we may yet come away with something. And would you just look at that? How on earth did we manage to finish in 3rd position? That is fantastic. To be fair, with the side that we have got, is pretty good, especially up top. We scored 71 goals this season and only conceded 32, which is the 3rd least in the league. Bayern Munich crazily have conceded just 17, 1 in every 2 games. That's mental. But ourselves, that's a massive improvement. Just goes to show with the right players, right formation, things can work out. We do, however, drop points in 3 of the games in the last 5, which probably cost us second spot. We were behind Dortmund by 4 points. But we finish above Leipzig, Borussia Mönchengladbach, Stuttgart and Leverkusen. And to top it all off, we've made it to the Champions League as well. And would you just look at that as well, Dolberg, nearing his 30s, 29 goals and gets Golden Boot winner for this season. Fantastic. Mitoma as well with 20 goals. Goes to prove how good these players were. Fee as well, he gets 12 assists, the most in the league. Nubel gets 15 clean sheets, which is fantastic. It's a much better campaign. Just all depends now, how did we get a trophy? Did we get past Bayern Munich in that 2nd round? So after a dismal start, losing our first 2 games, we do go on a little bit of a rampage. Stuttgart standing away and get battered 5-0. Frankfurt get battered 5-2. We do lose to Dortmund, but we pick ourselves up, lose to Bayern, only 1-0 this time. Batter Hoffenheim, Nuremberg. We do lose to Schalke though, which is disappointing, away from home. I mean, the losses are not that far away from each other really, but they're very few and far between now. So moving in the right direction. Any more big scores in here? 3-2 win over Dortmund at home. Fantastic. Just unfortunate we just couldn't jump above them into 2nd spot though. Union Berlin, Augsburg, Bayern. Bayern Munich we beat 2-0. Brilliant. So Dortmund and Bayern we do considerably well against. That's marvellous. Hoffenheim we beat again, and then we beat Cologne 2-0. And we do lose our final game against Freiburg, but thankfully we remain in 3rd position. What a story. To think we were in the 2nd division in season 1. I think just a few more seasons and I think we would be battling for the top spot and possibly, who knows, Europe. And the answer to the did we get past Bayern Munich in the 2nd round of the German Cup? No, we didn't. We lose 4-1. We get hammered. Dolberg, 29 now. 31 goals and 34 with 1 assist. A 32 2 goal contributions, fantastic. Mitoma, 21 goals. I think them extra goals coming in the cup, weren't they, I guess. 6 assists. Enzo, he gets 11 goals, 13 assists, fantastic. Romero as well, 9 and 12. He's dropped off a little bit, but at 22 years old, what a star. Miranda as well, he gets 9 assists. Looking at some of the other players that were locked in, Puerto, how did it? He's grown a little bit. 7 assists though and 1 goal. That's pretty good as well. With Badashil, how did he do? 2 goals, 2 assists. Dolberg, we know. And Mogala, how did he do this time? Oh, he only got 1 goal this time. Still looks very good at 22 years old. I think we've got a star in the making there between him and Puerto as well, I think. And Romero. What a find he was. Staff-wise, I don't think we have any issues whatsoever. Just a few greens in there. But apart from that, we have got the best of the best in the league. We'll see if we've set any records in this 5-year rebuild. Nothing I can see just yet. Nothing. Nothing. Oh dear. Have we set any sort of records? We did set one for highest gate receipts, 1.6 million against Schalke in the German Cup second round in 25. Highest attendance, 56,000. I think that's the same one. Lowest attendance was against Valeur in the Europa League. We do have a big win, 11-0. High scoring match, the 11-0 as well. Kasper Dolberg, the most goals in a season, 31. Apart from that, I don't think there's anything else. There's 16 most assists by Enzo's, the most in a season, with 6 man of match awards by Mitoma. Highest transfer fee received was for Stack to Aston Villa, £25.2 million, and total spending. The highest transfer fee paid that we've paid out was for Mogala, £30 million, and he's proven to be an exceptional player. So that's where we're going to leave it for this rebuild. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It is free to do so, and it also helps the channel out a lot as well. If you have any other ideas as to what rebuild we should do next, then please let me know down in the comments. And until the next one, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.